The presenting sponsor of Upmarket is Fotello, the best AI editing platform. Snap, upload, and deliver at fotello.co. Coming to you from the Upmarket studio in beautiful San Buenaventura, California, this is Upmarket, a podcast about the business of real estate photography and media. My name is Reed Fish. I'm the CEO and a co-founder of Upmarket Media. You know what? Mark Corcoran, he couldn't even be bothered to be here. Molly Peart is here. She's producing. She's off camera, off mic, but rest assured that she's here. She's operating this thing. You know, we got a mastermind episode today. I love the mastermind, and our mastermind group is waiting in the wings, but we have some other stuff we want to talk about really quick before we do that. And I could tip you off because I'm wearing my iGuide blue glasses right now. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, if you don't, subscribe Upmarket Pod on YouTube, get that subscription going. And so to talk about really kind of like, not hyperbole aside, like earth-shaking news in the real estate media world is a new product from iGuide. We got site plans. We've been kind of trying to talk about it for a little while already. And we got Natasha Robertson and Brad Fakuri from iGuide here to talk about it. And also not only to announce site plans, but announce a pretty exciting other additional thing in relation to Upmarket Pod and iGuide. So guys, take it away. How excited are we about site plans?
We're so excited that we've launched site plans. We are just so pumped to just have another offering for real estate photographers and finally get to go outside and showcase the full property and complete the listing.
Right. So site plans, so not only like you're scanning outside in iGuide. And so in the functionality of when you're in the tour, you can just walk outside, you can look around. It has the same functionality as outside. But now the big difference is when you're getting that kind of quote unquote floor plan, you're actually seeing what's outside as well, where the trees are, where the pool is, where, do you have pools in Canada?
Of course we have pools in Canada. They're not always frozen, although you guys are getting the cold snap we get too. Site plans. Schematic view of the entire residential property, the building placement, those outdoor features, ponds, pools, fountains, gardens, just perfect visual context for the whole property.
Yeah, well, and I want to say too, like I we've been using iGuide a bit now, and we're loving it. But what I love about it is it's easy, and like I've actually done a site plan myself, Reed Fish. Yes, I was out there shooting, and even I could do a site plan. I mean, it's that easy, right?
It's that easy. Anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it. Even Reed. Okay.
I think what gets people excited, it's the same capture experience, right? You're doing a couple shots outside anyways to get the front and the exterior. You add a couple more in there, and then you can get that additional deliverable. So if you can operate a Plan X, which most people can, including yourself, then you can easily get these site plans.
Yeah, it's like a video game. You just touch the things on the iPad. It's a delight. It's a total delight. Well, and then so this is just a basic kind of add-on cost, right? To when you're, because on iGuide, as people may know or not know, it's a pay per project system, where so it's unlike other 3D tour providers that make you pay a hefty subscription fee each month. iGuide, it is per project, and so the site plan is an add-on. Do we have a price for site plans, or how much are we talking?
Yeah, we do. So it is 35 USD, 45 Canadian, and it's available as an additional add-on to your iGuide Standard or your iGuide Premium that you order. And
I think, I think from the real estate media side, it's $35, and it certainly does add some capture time when you're on the property. I mean, without a doubt. But I think you're going to be able to charge probably at least $150, $200 for these site plans is my estimation. And of course, it may differ in your region. So I do think there is a lot of value to be had even with the $35 cost, and for what you get, it's definitely so worth it. All right. Is there anything else that we need to know about site plans as we launch? I mean, they're nothing we have to do. They're just available, and you can just do it and order it.
Yeah, they're available right now. I think what we're just mostly excited for is that it's just more context for the buyer, more polish for the agent, and it's just more opportunity for real estate photographers. But Brad's actually heard from a couple customers, and there is some excitement. So he's got a little more insight.
Yeah. I think because I get to talk with customers every day, most people are extremely excited about just something different to bring to their customers and helps them stand out in front of all the agents that they're working with. They're bringing something new to the table, something new they can add to their packages, deliver more value. And like you said, it's marginally more time on site, yes, but what you can then upsell for is extremely valuable. So there's a lot of excitement on something different. And we know that virtual tours and floor plans are getting a lot of traction. We think that this is the next big move, is a lot of buyers are going to love this exterior context.
No, absolutely. We're excited. We've already, the clients we've showed it to have been, super pumped for it as well. So I think that this is going to be a really hit product. And so to spread the excitement, we have, once again, we've been doing giveaways with you guys for a couple of years now, and they're pretty sweet. So this is one specifically related to site plans. And I think you can enter this until April 15th of this year. So you have a little bit of time. But tell me, you guys, what is the giveaway? What amazing prize are we getting? And then what do you have to do to enter this?
Yeah, so we decided to celebrate the launch of Site Plans. We want to give away $1,000 Home Depot gift card to kind of celebrate, because Site Plans shows a lot of exterior context and, all the patio, pool, whatever it may be. Not that you can get a pool for
$1,000. No, maybe. No. No, you can't. I've priced out pools, Brad. No.
All you have to do is follow the Upmarket podcast, follow iGuide, and then go to Go iGuide on Instagram. Yep. And then go to goiguide.com/upmarket. Enter your info. You have till April 15th, and then one lucky winner can go on a little shopping spree at Home Depot, courtesy of iGuide.
$1,000. I love it. Okay. So get in there April 15th, goiguide.com/upmarket and follow Upmarket Pod, follow Go iGuide on Instagram. You guys have already entered so many giveaways with these. You're probably already following us. So it's going to be real easy for all of you, but any new listeners who haven't done it, get in there. What are you doing? Follow us all. Get in there, win $1,000. And more importantly, actually go do some site plans. You're going to be able to make $1,000, and it's not even going to be hard earned. It's going to be easy earned money, easy earned $1,000. You're going to be able to get there really quickly. So Natasha, Brad, thank you so much, and you'll be back on to announce the winner. So at some point soon.
Yeah, thank
all
you.
right,
Thanks everybody.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so let's get going on our mastermind, and we have our whole crew here. I love Molly. You can't talk because you're not on mic, but I love this whole crew. We got Jenn Lueck in Prescott, Arizona. We got Kelly Clark in Atlanta, Georgia, and we got Alex Coombs in Hamilton, Ontario. I don't know. We know all your company. Local Flavor, Jenn Lueck Photography, and Northern Spruce Media. Okay, so we want to start, everyone, just really briefly. We're now towards, we're recording this a little before the end of February, but how are we doing? How is business over this last month, compared to previous year or previous month? Jenn, you want to start?
So we're talking January this year versus January last year.
Yeah.
We had a really busy January. It was surprising. I felt like our January was up on number of orders and order totals. So that was a positive thing. So overall, doing good for January. It was a positive start.
Okay, fantastic. Alex?
I would say if we're just talking real estate alone, we were down 60 shoots in January.
Down 60 shoots, yeah.
Down 60 shoots. I know our market right now it's slow, it's low, but now we're feeling the pickup and we are fully booked. So it's just like, don't stress. It's always going to come back. Yeah. Anxiety that was there.
Oh, of course. Well, it can be interesting because, it's always like, and that's why it's helpful to compare year over year, because you're like, well, yeah, it's slow season. Of course you're down, but if you're down 60 from last year, okay, that's like considerable. I mean, so assuming it's considerable. Kelly, how's it going in Georgia?
We were down 30 shoots from last January, which same as Alex, it hurt. But I felt like we were having some weather going on that we usually don't have in Georgia. I know it's not uncommon in other parts of the country, but usually we do not get snow and ice. We got a lot of those days in January. So I feel like that may have been contributing, but Same as Alex said, we're definitely feeling it pick up now, like we're going into spring.
Yeah. And at Upmarket, we definitely, it felt like, I mean, just kind of the extension of December. It felt like December, January are always our slowest months, but man, they were slow this year. And it just felt like cash flow has been really tight. It's been bad. And then, we've had the weather. It was a little earlier in January or whatever, but it's been a lot for us. And then, in the last couple of weeks in February has been a lot better. There's been, it was like we had, I think the first week of February, it was like, we had literally had like one shoot a day, which is nothing. And then the next week it was like, we were almost fully booked like the whole week. So, it's really picking up, and I'm hearing definitely a lot of chatter, a lot of optimism from our clients that it's going to be a busy year, and that especially as the kind of weather subsides. And for us here, we're all babies, so if it just rains, it's like it's the earth.
And our weather's been beautiful, so that might contribute. Like if you guys have all had horrible weather and we've had beautiful weather, it's moving in now. But it's been really beautiful, unseasonably warm for us. So maybe that is a part of it. But yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, good. So I'm glad everything's on the upswing. I think we can all feel a little bit good about that, hopefully. So today we wanted to tackle kind of the subject that I think is kind of interesting. And, we're all in kind of different places in our businesses, but what if we have a hypothetical that we're going to base this episode on? What if we got rid of our businesses today, but had to start over immediately with a new real estate media business? How would we go about that? But let's start by kind of acknowledging, I think our businesses are different ages, but like, how are things different now than when you started your business? I started 13 years ago. I know, Jen, you just started, in the last couple years. And then I don't know how long you all, Kelly and Alex have been going.
I'm 8 years.
8 years.
We're 11 years.
Yeah. So is there a big takeaway on how things are different now? I mean, I guess I can start because I have the oldest business is, now back when I first started, we were just convincing realtors they needed photos. And that's how we did photos. I mean, there was not even the technology to do aerial photos unless you rented an airplane or a helicopter back when I started. And so, we couldn't even upsell aerial photos. And I remember even doing shoots, and if it would be close to the end of the day, I'd be there. I'll shoot some twilight photos and just include them. I didn't even charge a separate twilight photo price. So, I think the business was just so much more rudimentary and just very like focused on photos and good looking photos. And it was less about, I'll get them to you in a couple of days. I mean, it wasn't art, but it kind of felt like you were maybe doing something a little more artistic and bespoke than it is now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think one of the biggest changes from even me 8 years ago was there was maybe a small handful of photographers to choose from or companies to choose from. Now they're on every single corner. Freelancers, small businesses. A lot of people don't take on like what we've all taken on, like bigger businesses. It's hard to come by, but I think there's just so much. Someone could just like, if you had a phone book, you could be like, okay, I'm going to call this real estate media company. And there's a whole list of people to call. Whereas before there was maybe 5. So I think that is a huge difference now is almost everybody says they can shoot real estate.
Absolutely. And for us, we found that the other companies were doing real estate, but they were also doing weddings and portrait. And it was kind of like, it wasn't so niche. It wasn't like you could just do this. That sounded kind of ridiculous at that time when we started 11 years ago. It's like, wait, you can actually make a living just shooting real estate? Nobody's doing that. Or it felt like nobody else was doing that. Now, like Alex said, everybody's doing that, or it feels like it is. And they all feel like they can do it well. So we've really leaned into just the client service. I feel like that's been a big key to standing out in our market, especially is like these young guys coming on, like, yeah, I'm going to run my own business. I'm going to make a great living. They underestimate how hard it is to scale and to do all the things. And it comes back to like taking care of our clients, because we've still got a lot of our clients have been with us since day one, and our product, services, and prices have certainly changed, and they've stayed with us.
Yeah. But also like the tools we have now to make our businesses like more efficient and faster and better, that's a huge game changer. I haven't opened up Lightroom in a year, you know?
Right.
So
yeah. Well, yeah, and even just the fact that the breadth of services that we offer, right? I kind of alluded to it. It's like it's aerial photos. I mean, it's just the video. It's 3D. It's floor plans. It's now site plans. Obviously, iGuide is doing site plans, and so all these things that just weren't available. But Jenn, like you're relatively new. I know you were shooting before you had your business for another company, but like I mean, even in the 2 years or coming up on 2 years you've been on your own, I mean, are you feeling a difference from what it was even just 2 years ago?
I think so. I think it's ever evolving in what people are looking for, the type of media, how fast or the urgency that's there. So yeah, I do see it shifting, especially with AI coming on and how that might affect things. Like Kelly said, leaning more into client relationships and building that, I think is really important and will continue to be really important as things shift. And especially, the plus side with the easier tools, like Alex was saying, is that it does make us more efficient. But with that ease, there's more people entering as competitors. There's more people doing it because it's so much easier to do.
Yeah. Well, and the bar of what they're doing is raised. They can approximate the look of what we're doing pretty easily.
Right. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that I noticed, even with yes, I had experience shooting before and was doing it before drone was really as big a deal as it is now. I was one of the first that got my drone license in the area. And I have to say, sometimes I kind of miss when it was just photos. You went out, you did your photos, you were done. It's gotten a lot more complicated and shifted away from a little bit of the art of it. But I think really just leaning into those people skills is going to be hugely important.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to separate people now. You know what I mean? It's everyone here, no matter who's shooting it, our photo editors are probably all going to be the same, and it's going to be the same style, the same look. The videos are also kind of blending and looking the same, no matter Canada, US, Australia, whatever. It's just like, it's all blending. So what is going to really push us as a company is, what are your operations like? What is your customer service like? Who is the business owner? How are they operating their whole business as a whole to make it that number one, rather than all these other competitors that all look the same? I think it all ended up having to do at the back end and who's operating.
Right. Okay. So if we did start over right now, how would you do your business? And I think there's two trains of thought, right? We can have this premium model where we're coming at it from almost an architectural photography side, where it's very you're targeting the high end of the market, the 10 depending on where you are, but the $5 million, $10 million, $20 million homes, and all the stuff that goes along with that. Or would you be like volume? Would you just be going for like having a whole team? And how would you start? How would you go about it? Jenn, why don't you start, because you actually just did this basically. And so what was your thinking when you set out to start your business, and what was your goal at that moment?
So actually, when I started my business, I thought I wanted to lean into architecture and not do volume as much. That was kind of, I think I was burnt out because the company I was working through was kind of a mill, just cranking out as many shoots as we could do. So I thought I was under the mindset I just wanted to mostly focus on architecture. But I think I would still lean into more of what we're doing, and that's a little bit more volume. To be honest, I'm trying to go for a more hybrid approach where we are doing volume, but more on the higher end, the more luxury homes, because then we're not cramming as many shoots in a day, but we're still focusing on a more boutique experience if we can. I actually took the WTF workshop last year to see if that was what I wanted to do, just to kind of dip my toe into architecture.
And that's the luxury photography workshop at PMRE. Yeah,
more focused on architecture and design specifically. And so I wanted to see what that was like. Is that the direction I want to move? And while I was able to take a lot of what they taught us and apply that to luxury real estate, I definitely found for me, I didn't want to fully commit to just architecture and design. I still want to do real estate, in part because when you're doing architecture and design, there's just a different level of, those projects go for a very long time. There's a different level of commitment there. And I kind of like the fact that real estate is a little quicker. It does have a little bit more turnover. I also really enjoy having a team. I don't want to do it on my own. The team aspect of watching the people on my company succeed has been something that I didn't anticipate loving so much. I didn't anticipate that would be a part of doing this. That's been really fulfilling is watching them grow in their skills and succeed. So I think I'd still want to go with more of a volume, but definitely a little bit more hybrid approach.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, Kelly, what would you do?
I think both. As we've gotten into this, I know that a lot of people think that the luxury side, not necessarily architecture, but just luxury listings, more pressure, more money, all the things, but it's bigger time commitment. That stuff gives me life. I love that side. If I could script videos and just walk our big luxury listings through the whole process every day, I would love it. And to be honest, those clients for us have been much easier to work with than the listings that are getting our basic photography package for $350, because those people are, everything is relying on that listing. They might be a new agent. They might need that commission to make their mortgage that month. So much pressure and so much scrutiny over the $350 spend versus these people that are doing the luxury listings, spending a couple $1,000s. We've got a relationship with them. We're their partner. I thrive on that, those relationships. So I wouldn't want to give up either side of it, because I understand why volume is very, advantageous for us. But we've kind of had a hard time with finding enough people on the team to be able to support that high volume, trust the people to go out there and deliver that same experience. So right now we've got hybrid shooters that'll do, photo and our listing showcase, which is a social media reel. And then we've got our lead photo video that go out and kill it on the luxury shoots. And I honestly wouldn't want to give up either one of those things. We want it all. My favorite thing is luxury for so many reasons. And I know that's not a popular opinion, as the bigger the company gets, but that's what I personally love to do. And we found that on our luxury shoots, we're then able to go in and do branding sessions, bring in 8 agents, get business that way, make $4,000 using this luxury shoot. Yes. Yeah. And then we get more clients. So that has been just a major game changer for us on the luxury side.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think in terms for us is, I even said this the other day to my team, it's we do high volume, but we always maintain our quality. And I think that's just who we are. So to the core, in our area, if you do high volume, your quality's down here. Nobody's able to do both. So I would just keep, that was always my mindset when I started the business, was I always wanted to do so much. I wanted to be the biggest. I wanted to be the best. But to maintain quality, you have to have the structure. And it's just something that we take a lot of pride in. I don't care if I'm shooting the shittiest house in Hamilton. I always say we treat every house like luxury, every single one. And of course, when we are shooting luxury, we do take that extra time. Sometimes it's a full 8-hour day, depending on how big it is. But yeah, I don't care what the house looks like, what the size is. We're always going to treat it the same, because we want to attain quality and volume.
So if you were starting over, you would, I think you would just build the same company you have. That's my gut on you.
Yeah. I just basically said what I did. Yeah. I didn't change anything.
Yeah. Well, I think, so I think for me too, I do think the kind of hybrid thing is the model that I would want to go. And I don't have that interest in luxury. But I do think though, there is an opening. I think what is hard now, if you were starting over, is what Alex alluded to earlier, is that there's so much more competition. So how do you set yourself apart? And I think with these bigger companies that have their operations down to a T, and like how would I come in and compete against Northern Spruce Media in that market? Because it's or even Upmarket Media. Because I think what we've done at Upmarket is and how I've thought about it. There's just that old saying of you can have it good, you can have it fast, or you can have it cheap. pick two of those things. You can't get all three. But you know what we do in real estate media? We're all three. Because what we're doing is actually relative to what we're providing our clients is so cheap compared to if it was in any other industry, if we were making this type of media for any other industry outside of real estate, right? So we have to do it good, we have to do it fast, and we have to do it cheap. And so when you're going up as a new entrant to face off against companies our size, it's going to be really daunting. And I think the thing where I've seen people have success is by really leaning into luxury, is to carve out a kind of luxury brand. Because I think if you are a solo shooter, I think it's easier to figure out an eye for luxury than it is to build a business with a ton of infrastructure. So I think that's where I've seen our vulnerabilities lie, because by nature of us having the bigger business that has the infrastructure, it is harder to do those bespoke properties in the way that someone who, this is the only thing they're doing that week, they can go in there and really, really lean into it in just ways that we can't, because we have our systems, we have what we provide, and we also have 5 more shoots we got to get to that day. So I think that's just like where the vulnerability lies with our company. So I guess as someone coming in, I would see where are the vulnerabilities in these companies, and I would go after that market. I think it would be really hard to come in and try to compete on volume at this stage in the game, because I think with volume, you have to get there organically. And the one thing I wouldn't want to do is go out there and shoot a bunch of houses on my own, build up enough business to be able to hire people. I wouldn't want to take the same journey I just took. That doesn't interest me whatsoever. So I guess I would, I don't even know. I would just like go into something else. I just
forget it. Yeah, if that was an option, I would have.
I think I'd just start like 5 more podcasts and just do that, you know. So we're talking about what we would do if we started our businesses right now, right? So one of the things I would do is certainly get AI editing. Fotello is where I would go. It's where I go now, because the workflows that we have had since we started using Fotello, if you want to grow your business, this is the way you're going to be able to do it, because the editing is excellent. And it comes in so quickly. And we're talking minutes to have fully edited shoots that you can basically right then and there deliver to your clients. Fotello has been a total game changer for us. We love everything about Fotello. I would highly encourage you to check it out. I mean, really, like, do it. Definitely check out Fotello. It's fotello.co. Use the link in our description or bio, everywhere you can get in there to do Fotello. And if you do want to sign up with Fotello, make sure you tell them Upmarket sent you. I'm sure they're going to give you a little bit of love. Fotello is so great. You can also schedule, you can deliver, you can do a bunch of other stuff and only pay for editing. And the editing is fantastic. And if there's ever an error, they have a slew of human editors there to make sure the work meets all the quality standards that you've set out for your business. It's fotello.co. You heard all about site plans earlier in this episode from iGuide. I just want to say once again how fantastic this new feature is. You're going to want to go to goiguide.com to check out what site plans and the rest of iGuide is all about. Look, it is a 3D tour system that is second to none. It is accurate. The capture, what I love about it is the capture is fast. And of course, another thing I love, no subscription fees. We all hate subscription fees, and especially certain other 3D tour providers have a pretty dang hefty monthly fee that you have to pay. With iGuide, it is pay per project, and hopefully you can upsell on site plans and make a bunch of extra dough from that. So pay per project, accurate, fast, everything you love. Take your 3D tour inside, outside, get a floor plan, get a site plan. iGuide is the place to do it. Go iGuide.com. Check it out. Follow Upmarket Pod. Follow Go iGuide, go_iGuide on Instagram, and go to goiGuide.com/upmarket to get in on the sweepstakes to win a $1,000 gift card to Home Depot. Do that by April 15th. So it's goiGuide.com/upmarket. So if you had to start over, so depending, whatever kind of angle you want on it, what is there something that jumps out that you would do differently than you did before?
I would have straight up just, instead of hiring a photographer first, I would have hired admin. Yeah. I would have upped my social media game way sooner, rather than just like posting whenever I can. I do think marketing yourself is very, very important, very key for growth and creating portfolio and establishment for yourself. Those are two things that I would have definitely done differently earlier.
Something that comes to mind for me is like, I would have let go earlier. I think like I held on so tight for so long to like, oh, it has to be this way. Oh, my clients are going to ditch me if I, whatever, if I don't turn it around this quickly, or if I don't do this, or if I raise my prices, or if I do, no one can do it like I can. I can't have anyone help me. There's nothing like, I was just holding on so tight to how I thought the business had to be. And when I started to let go is then when the business could actually really grow. Right. So I think I would be much more open and much more collaborative from the very beginning. And because I have found that as our business grows, kind of goes to what Jenn was just talking about, of how having staff, having people that you're collaborating with and seeing them thrive and grow is extremely rewarding. And I think when you're just holding on tight and you're just like scared, just running scared, there's no fulfillment in that. It's not fun. You're not growing your business. And it just raises your blood pressure for no reason. And so, I would just let people in way sooner, even though it's hard, you don't have the money to pay people. It's, it's so tricky. It's so tricky.
It is. We were spending money on the wrong things in the beginning, like the gear and the training and vendor fees, for example, like to be the preferred vendor, like throwing money away on these huge luncheons and stuff like that. Nobody knew us yet, and nobody cares about the gear. And so once we kind of got past that, it's like, yeah, we should have been going to PMRE and like spending money, investing in our business and learning from the other people who have been doing this successfully, rather than worrying so much about gear. So I feel like we misappropriated a lot of money in the beginning. And we're also delegating, Reed. I mean, we were huge on just like putting it on our shoulders and running. Yeah. Everything that came up, just putting it on us. Like, we can handle it. We're going to handle it the best. And like, now that we can delegate, and these people are actually doing it so much better than we ever did it. So it's like, what were we even doing? Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, exactly. Jenn, is there anything already that you're regretting of what you did?
Always. I did take a lot of you guys' advice and hired people right off the bat, which was great. However, I didn't have SOPs in place.
Right.
So you have all these people available. Like, I had an admin, and I have an admin who is wonderful. But if you don't tell them and have standard operating procedures in place as you grow, then you start to see all the cracks, and then you're fixing things backwards. So that's a big focus for me right now, is just getting all my SOPs in place so that as we continue to grow, and even with the people we have, we know what to do. So yes, having the people in place in the beginning is awesome, but you have to have your operating procedures down. So I would definitely take the time, and even if they evolve and change, at least you have something to evolve and change versus going back and trying to put them in place after.
Would you have picked the same name for your company?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Every time he has to say something.
Oh, yeah. Because he told me. He was the one that was like, I wouldn't go with that. And I was like, it'll be fine.
Well,
yeah, I definitely would have picked a more generic, or just something that didn't have my name in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And my fear behind that was, well, people won't know who I am. They won't know it's the same person. And it wouldn't have mattered if I would have branded properly. They would have known. I think I let fear hold me back there. So I definitely want to do a rebrand at some point when the time is right. I'll get around to that.
It's just like having a kid. The time's never right.
I know. That's right.
All right. So, Alex, did you say what you didn't want to do, what you would do differently?
I did.
Okay,
I can't remember what I said. Oh,
me
I
neither.
What I said.
It was quite brilliant.
I agreed with you, like Reed and Kelly. Like I agree with. I'm the same boat. Like I would have also done that differently. I also would have never had my email be alex@northernsprucemedia.com. It's just way too fucking long. I would have cut that shit right down. Alex@NSM.
Oh, there you go.
When someone's like, "What's your email?" I was like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. It's just way too long. I'm embarrassed.
I'll text it to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, why are they emailing it? Just email the admin. I mean, geez, come on. So what did you, was there anything that, was there something that stands out to you that maybe you overestimated or underestimated, or was there something that really kind of almost broke your company back in the early days?
I think not having boundaries was something that almost broke us. Yeah. Not only me directly, where it's just like people are just contacting me any time of the day, any weekday, weekend. It was just like there was just no boundaries. And then I also didn't have boundaries set with my photographers. So they were also being contacted at any point in time in the day. And then I also didn't have boundaries for, when I was starting, I was like, my one photographer was doing like 6 a day, just working her till the sun went down. And I've learned from that, but that was something, I think that's something very, very important. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That is so resonant. I mean, that's so completely my experience of it, of like not having boundaries and then having like being married to someone who was like, you need to have boundaries. And then I wouldn't have boundaries. And then you need to have boundaries and I wouldn't have boundaries. And so that was not a very fun cycle. And, and she was of course right. So it was like, but I was still holding on tight and, running scared. It was like, well, if I don't do this, then the whole business is going to disintegrate. So, and do you want the rent paid or what? Come on, and that was just not the case at all.
Yeah. Something that almost broke us was I was in corporate for 15 years before we did this, and wealth management, and I was very comfortable financially, but didn't love what I was doing. So it was very hard for me to go into owning our own business. So I kind of had one foot in corporate still because I knew I could go back to that if this didn't work out. So I struggled with just being all in with the business and just knowing it was going to work out, just putting all of my efforts there. So it was always like, all right, it's slowing down, so I got to go back here. I was just always scared rather than just like going, I wish I would have just spent more time with like client acquisition, gaining skills for being an entrepreneur, becoming a better leader, like all the things that I needed to be that I didn't have to be in corporate. I just kind of use that as my safety net to where like, okay, if this doesn't work, I'm going to go back here. And I mean, I probably spent 8 years in that space, not even exaggerating. And once I finally just like, okay, now I can see for myself this is going to work. I just need to put all of my efforts into it. It's changed our business completely. Just that I'm all in. I don't know if y'all have had a common experience, but it was just too easy to think about, okay, I was miserable there, but at least I was paying all the bills. And this is really friggin' hard over here. And I thought corporate was hard, but this is like hard in a completely different way. I didn't have boundaries. I was answering the phone at 9:00 at night. I felt like I had to. I was Instacarting for a period of time during Christmas time so that my kids would have gifts. Like I was doing whatever was required, but then at the same time, I'm like, there's this like 6-figure job over here that like I get to leave at 4:30. So I had to, and now like looking back, I'm like, hey, that was actually kind of nice. Like what actually was I doing? But I had to go all in, and it took me a very long time to get there.
Yeah. And I think I underestimated how hard it is to have employees. Like, and how, and it's wonderful, but then you have this responsibility to them. And, and what Jenn said about the SOPs really like ring true. Cause I think we've had even experiences lately where it's like, oh shit, we have this person, but I don't have time to tell them what to do and they don't know what to do. And so then you can't even utilize them. And so it's like, and I've heard so many people say that it's like, oh, I want to hire an admin, but it's going to take me so long to train them that I don't have time to do it. And I can't, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of like, I can't hire them because I don't have time to train them. And so then they just never hire anybody. And then, that was the other thing when you were saying, Kelly, about having one foot out the door or, in another footing. I mean, when I started it, this was like a side business for me. I'm writing scripts. I'm doing this. I'm going to make another movie, but I just need some cash on the side. So I'm just going to do this. And then it's like, it just slowly grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And the other stuff was not growing. It was like wilting. And then at a certain point, you're like, oh, I guess like if someone asks me, oh, what do you do? I guess I don't say screenwriter anymore. I guess I say I own a real estate media business. And I think it took me a while to admit that. And to like even embrace what I was doing. And I think it has always kind of played into this emotional thing for me of like, oh, I'm doing this just to make money. I don't really love it, yet I'm not having boundaries with it. I'm letting it get into my psyche. I'm letting my relationship with realtors affect me because I don't want to have a relationship with realtors. I want to be making a movie. I want to do, all of a sudden it's like you're doing this thing, you're making this business that you have to be all in. You have to be putting all of yourself into it, but then it's in something that you don't even really want, or at least you don't think you want. And then, so the path for me was really figuring out how this is working in a lot of ways. So how do I find meaning in it? And how do I find a path to enjoy it? And that for me was actually growing it bigger, was to merge with Mark and to have a bigger staff and to start this podcast and to do things that filled my cup in ways that just going out and grinding shoots never, ever, ever did, So, and surrounding myself with people, of having it not be so lonely. I mean, that was the thing that almost broke me, was just the loneliness of it, of being like that solo shooter, just out there grinding all the time. It was terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
the one thing I do admire though, and like maybe this is something I would have done differently too, and I want to still do it, is finding some sort of partner,
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be doing this alone anymore. Like I don't want to be running everything and be going crazy. I need someone to help me, and I'm looking for that person now. But I wish I did it sooner. I wish I did start looking for that person sooner.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I lucked out. Like I found the perfect partner, and like I have nothing bad to say about Mark. And when we came into it together, we were equal partners. And so I know he cares just as much as I do. I know he's going to do whatever it takes. And so if instead of partnering with Mark, I'd hired, say, a general manager and paid them a nice salary, and okay, you have all these responsibilities, and it's like you're an owner, except you're not an owner. Well, guess what? They're not an owner, and they're just not they can never feel it in the same way that you do. But I do think the thing that has been the best, and the thing that has allowed the business to grow, is having people on board. And I think if you can have people who care as much as you, it's going to grow even more. I think that's a great point. Jen, did you overestimate how anything jump out?
I think the underestimating part for me was a lot more mental. I have had a lot of success really early, and that's awesome. But there is a certain amount of imposter syndrome that I deal with a lot, that I struggle with a lot, and self-doubt or fear. And maybe I think it's a little bit different for me than maybe you Reed, but like I wanted this so bad. Like I poured so much of myself into this business and this career, and want to see it succeed so much that sometimes I allow fear or the doubt monster to creep in. And that can be really debilitating sometimes. I mean, I have a ability to push through it, and it might come out outwardly to a lot of people like I'm very confident. But it is hard in those quiet moments when you're about to pull the trigger on something, that you have to feel, or at least outwardly project. And I've put a lot of pressure on myself that way to keep it going, to keep the momentum moving forward, because we have had this success. And now that I have people depending on me, that mental part of it has been something I have struggled with. I wouldn't say that it's almost broke me, but it's definitely unexpected. In maybe that's naive on my part, but It can be a challenge. I actually reached out after the last podcast we did and thanked you guys for just being so open and honest and supportive, because when you do have people in your corner who can take the time to help you get over those imposter moments, I think it gives you a ton of confidence to keep going and get through those moments. Yeah. So even if you don't have a team necessarily like we all do, I think there's enough people in this industry and connections that you can make so that you don't have to feel alone in it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah. And that I think that points to the thing that, is a lot of times the unspoken thing about, life or any business is actually the mental health aspects of it, of how, how we all have to deal with that. We're all human beings and we all bring our weird ass experiences and hangups and flaws and all that. And then you have to be the figurehead of this business, and you have to, be the boss or just deal with clients and to have to, compartmentalize and not let all that stuff mess up your business is tough. And I think the more we can all accept that we have these flaws and also, give ourselves the permission to seek help for them. Right. So I think maybe the biggest thing I would have done is hire a therapist earlier. It's because I think, having someone like a coach, like a business coach or a therapist, I think is pretty key actually, because then you always have someone on your side and who can understand the mental strain of what you're going through. So, surrounding yourself with community and then maybe even having a paid expert is, I think, a pretty smart approach to it.
I fully agree with coaching stuff. When I hired a coach, I was at a point where it's just I didn't know where to go to next. I hit a wall and I was I don't know how to grow anymore. I hired a coach, and I just leaning on someone and having someone hold me accountable for what to do. I was I need that. I'm comfortable right now. I need to be made uncomfortable and forced to do things that I don't want to do right now. But if someone's telling me to do something and they give me homework, I don't want to fail them. Right. So I'm going to do it. And it was key. I do think everyone should have a coach of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hired a coach too. And for me, it wasn't so much an accountability thing as it was just removing emotion from all the decisions, because this is our baby. It's just, we're way too close to it, and have somebody just subjectively look at it and say the easiest stuff that you would just never think would be that difficult. We just keep getting stuck in our own way. And it wasn't, it was just the emotion of it. Just, it felt so enormous, and they just broke it down to these steps, this is what you need to do next. And I'm so grateful for the coach for that reason.
And in a way, we can all in this function, in this little group here, we can kind of all be each other's coaches in a way. So, that's, I'm grateful for that. Yeah. So, yeah.
I love when you guys reach out to me. I think it's so cool, because I'm just I
love that you did, because I was and send.
No, I'm
I feel I abuse it a little bit, Alex. I'm Alex will know the answer to this question.
No, I love it. And you know what, though, guys, I've expressed this a lot recently, but there is no community here in Canada. There is no you guys all have it down there, and I'm going to try and build it out this way, because everyone's just so competitive or territorial. I'm who gives a shit? There's enough work for everyone out here. Let's get along.
I don't know that we have that here.
I was gonna say, I don't have that here, not locally, on a, not in my little local sphere. I definitely have community that I've met through PRME, which has been amazing, but not here locally, no.
Well, PMRE is Canadian.
There's a community.
Yeah, but PMRE is Canadian, if you didn't know that, Alex. So you guys do have it up there.
It's Canadian with US dollar. No, it's not. PMRE is a fully American, that's an American brand. I don't care. If I'm not paying Canadian dollars, it's not Canadian.
It's American.
Well, it's a wonderful hybrid. It's a wonderful hybrid of both. It's a community that spans international borders. That's how I'd put it. I'm good at spin.
I still disagree. Like how many Canadians attended the event last year? Probably not many.
No, not many. Well, there was a lot of reasons for that. Then the dollar was one of them, and maybe a couple other things was a reason that I don't know. What could it possibly be? I don't know. Yeah. Jeez, just
let's not go there. We're gonna go there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We're so happy at Upmarket to be partnering with HD Photo Hub. HD Photo Hub has everything you need to run your business. So this is a white labeled service that is customer facing for your clients. You can schedule, you can they can schedule, you can deliver the photos, you can invoice them, they can pay, you can manage your team, you can upgrade people to their amazing marketing kit, and you can make more money. You can streamline your business, everything with HD Photo Hub. So I am kind of falling in love with HD Photo Hub as we've been solidifying this relationship with them. They gave us this cool, we got a bunch of like neon signs behind us now, HD Photo Hub. There's this kind of giant, we love it. We love HD Photo Hub. And I would implore you to check it out. And really they are offering right now, new users, 15 full deliveries if you use code Upmarket when you sign up, if you're a new user. So get to hdphotohub.com and use the code Upmarket. One of the other things I would do if I was starting my own business is make sure I was providing floor plans with every single shoot. And how would I do that? I would use Second Floor app, because Second Floor app is on the leading edge of the floor plan mania that has been sweeping North America for a couple of years now. Part of being a full service media company is providing floor plans, and Second Floor app is a fast, efficient way to make floor plans. You go through 5 minutes with your phone, you get a floor plan right then and there, and you can deliver it right to your clients. So it's instant, so you can upsell that instant delivery. Second Floor app, so fantastic. Definitely every real estate media provider needs to be doing floor plans. So go check out Second Floor app, all spelled out, secondfloorapp.com/upmarket. You're going to get a free month of service if you are a new user. So imposter syndrome. So let's bring it. I'm surly. So what, Alex, what like emotional problem have you brought to your business?
Control. I love control of everything. And letting go of control is a very hard thing. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so
and
that must affect
the process sometimes.
Yeah, that must affect all your relationships, right? Because are you controlling in all your relationships?
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
It's true. It's true. I do like to control a lot of things. It's a fucking problem.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
I think Megs is not here anymore. She'd be like.
Yeah. She'd be in the background, just like nodding.
At least she admits it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Well, yeah. And I think I don't know if it's imposter syndrome or, what of my myriad of problems I bring. The procrastination, that's a big one. I have that. Yeah. Which is not good. Yeah. But I don't know. Is that an emotional problem? I don't know. It's just a problem.
I think that's
just a problem.
Yeah.
I think you got to ask your therapist.
Yeah.
We're not qualified to answer that question.
I do.
Sorry, Reed.
I should if I could get him to, I could do that would be a great Upmarket pod as one of my therapy sessions. So, yeah, that would be, that's my other podcast. We talk about therapy a lot on that. So, okay. Well, so besides getting a therapist, like, let's say there was someone, let's have a hypothetical, right? So now we've moved on from starting a business. Now let's say we have someone who's like a solo shooter. They've maxed out. They're like making a couple $100,000 or grossing a couple $100,000 a year. Cause that's of course not what your take home is. And no time, no whatever, super stressed, kind of back where we've probably all been there. Like, what piece of advice can you give someone who's in that position, who's not necessarily starting over, but who's like at a point where they need to do something, right? They need to either scale or they need to either scale back by like raising prices or, something like that. I'd say hire an admin. That's my go-to. That's my go-to.
Somebody doing QC, somebody doing the client service, somebody who can kind of do all of those things for you. Take all that off your plate that's not necessary for you to do. Yeah. I would say to keep the client relationship stuff with the owner. That's been so key for us even now. As we've grown our team, it's like it all comes back to the client relationship, and we still have to go out to the offices, see our clients. It's like I don't know if we can ever be 100% hands off. I think that's so important. And then as soon as they can, get another shooter and get out of the field, because we waited way too long to get Brian out of the field.
Yeah.
Entirely.
I'm glad you did it though. Yeah. But you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to give away his camera gear to do it.
Oh, that's right.
Did it.
That's right.
Yeah. Ooh, I think when, like right now, anybody who I'm consulting, the biggest problem they have is they're just trying to do everything. Right. And I'm just saying, like, you got to figure out how to alleviate these things off your plate. And a lot of it is the admin stuff. Everyone, like, some of these people are just working 15-hour days, and I'm like, you got to stop. You're not gonna live a life. You have one life to live, and you're wasting it trying to be everybody, and you can't. So I think just working on getting that admin stuff down pat, the QC, the send-offs, like someone helping you with the booking, so you're not always just like all over the place. Yeah.
Well, and I think that is a really good first step, even if it's not a full admin, is just like a virtual assistant who can help you with the QC. I mean, just having that alone, just like that erases an hour off your day every single morning. So just like even just those baby steps can be helpful. But I kind of advise go screw the baby steps. It's just like we said, there's no good time to do it. You just got to do it. You just got to rip the Band-Aid off. Like
time is worth everything. If you're losing time on your life, what is your time worth? And it's just so valuable, and it's not worth it for real estate. And it's just. People see that, and then they're just afraid to make those steps and those jumps. Just got a little tap on the ass.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I would say set boundaries too, and kind of figure out what's important to you, because there's people that hate driving more than 25 miles. If you hate that and you're still doing it, you got to stop doing that. So if you want to stay geographically here, it's like back to boundaries. Set those early, because once they're not there, trust me, it's really hard to dial that back. Not necessarily from the clients. It was harder for us to set boundaries after we had had none for so many years. But like, if you know yourself, you should know yourself. You know what you hate, you know what you love, and like really try to set your business up. It's your business. So rather than just trying to serve everybody all the time, you have the power to say no. Set the boundaries. Don't go more than 25 miles. Don't do the shoots at night if you want to be home with your family. We have the power to do that. You don't have to say yes to everybody.
Exactly. The power in saying no is so amazing. I literally have a book on my shelf that says The Power of No, and I recommend it to everybody.
And then you just say
yes. People.
I know, but and then you always say yes though to every time I ask you anything. You're like yes. So.
I say no to the things I don't want. I know. I'm coming to California right now.
There you go.
That would be the best. That's what I'm trying to get you to come out here.
It's the distance that's making us emotional. It's fine.
Exactly. We'll be together soon. We will be together soon. Jen, do you have any advice for that person?
Well, I think definitely getting the admin right away. That has been absolutely amazing for me. I don't know how we could ever do it again. Also, we waited way too long to get Slack set up. I love Slack. Our communication is so much better. Just start with that. Even if it's just you and an admin and a shooter, and then the next time it makes everything so much better. So I would say if I could have started over and had Slack right from the start, I would have done that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And there's no reason to be not even on the free account for our, maybe Alex has reasons, but for a smaller company, just the free is, so wholeheartedly, agree with that. Okay. So to wrap it up, I feel like we kind of consensus this a little bit, is that if we had to start over and we were thinking about what we would want to do, I feel like we'd all build our same businesses again, where it kind of this hybrid between premium and volume, right? Because I think that's that's the way we'd all want to go. But again, I'd put some credence into really looking into the luxury way to differentiate yourself, especially as Alex kind of really, really succinctly said earlier, how all the media that is getting produced is leaning towards being the same, whether it's video or photo or whatever. And the other way to lean into that is doing really special social media style content where you're really being inventive and creative and setting yourself apart that way. So, I mean, I think those are the things that I would look at. And then I think one of the great joys of this show, and I'm loving the mastermind, I think we're really hitting our stride right now. And I want to shout out our producer, Molly, who's really putting together some outlines for these shows. And I think that since already we've had a couple shows with her, and they're already, I think you guys can tell they're much better than when I was just doing all the producing. But I think having this community and having these resources. And I know I really appreciate all of you being an open book on here. And I know our listeners appreciate that too. And I know that at some point, a listener is going to be in your area and they're going to want to hit you up and they're going to want to take you out for a drink, right? So the listeners, you definitely want to do me included. So I want everyone, let's go around and I want everyone to say their go-to cocktail order. Jen?
Spicy jalapeno margarita.
Oh, look, she's rolling in the Southwest. That's where she lives in the Southwest. She's going to go the Southwest. All right. Mm-hmm. Alex, you really want to say one.
Mm-hmm. Espresso martini.
Oh, that's Molly's drink too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like to say though, it's wake me up and fuck me up. It's.
Whoa! Wow. I took that.
I were going with that.
Yeah,
wow.
I went a different way with that, and that's.
All right. Damn. I don't think I can follow that, to be honest.
You have to, because I'm going to end the show. So.
I don't have a cocktail because I don't do hard liquor anymore. How boring is that? But I will go for Vinho Verde any day in Portugal. That's my drink.
Perfect. Yes. There you go.
Amazing.
Lafroig neat. So the smokiest of smoky scotches, neat. I'll take it any day. Lagavulin too, but there we go. I love it. Jen, Alex, Kelly, Molly, thank you so much. Thank you, of course, to all of our sponsors. Most of all, of course, thank you to our viewers, listeners. Please give us a follow on Instagram, Upmarket Pod. Definitely subscribe on YouTube. You guys are all subscribed on YouTube, please. We're growing our YouTube channel, Upmarket Pod on YouTube. Thank you. The handles for everyone are in the show notes, so please give everyone a follow on Instagram as well. And thank you for listening and watching. We really appreciate you all. Thanks, everybody. Upmarket is a production of Upmarket Studios and is produced by Molly Peart and edited by Bethany Diedrich. Our wish for you this week is to not have to do any Friday Night Twilight shoots. Thank you for everything.